Hi, everybody. It's Isabella. I'm going to do another remote viewing session today. I have the coordinates, and let's see what I get. So I have the coordinates SKRHM02. All right, so bear with me. Man-made structure. I've the width probably 17 to 20 feet wide. Feels open. There are some open spots, so and I'm cold. This is it's cold. When I'm looking at it, this feels cold. So this must be in a location that is cold right now. The wind on my face, it's like a biting cold. The ground is a little crunchy. What an interesting descriptive word. So maybe the ground is frozen, has a little bit of snow on it. It just feels like my feet would make noise walking on this ground. It is the 30th of December, so that would make sense. I can almost look through this structure. I don't know if it's burned down. Are there some burn spots in it? Almost feels charred. In locations, I do smell. I don't know if this is old smoke that I smell, but it does smell. I smell a little bit of smoke. I don't think this place is currently burning, and maybe I'm just picking up residual scent. Um, I think there's areas that have been burned. Flooring does not feel solid in this place, so I think there would be gaps in floor. This is an older structure. Maybe it's an older home. I don't know who would have lived here though. So I'm still not inside of the structure looking in, but I feel like I could go into the structure and then look up. So possibly 2 stories. The second story doesn't feel like it would have a floor. Not, I don't know what this is that I'm seeing. It almost feels like there's not a good floor for the second structure. And I think the roof is missing bits and pieces. Um, it doesn't feel warm and hospitable. Like nothing about this place makes me want to run closer, so I'm being a little hesitant. I feel wooden slats. So maybe there's I don't know that there are steps though, because I feel like I want to walk up, but I don't know that that's necessary to walk up to the location. As I'm seeing it, I'm about 4 feet outside. I feel like looking front. If I look to my right, it's open space, outdoors. There's a big tree. There's a very big, couple of very big trees. I smell animals now. A lot of animal smells as well too. Just trying to like get up my nerve to go in, and I don't understand why. I don't think that living people would feel excited to go into this space at all. I'm just very hesitant. Okay, so, oh, this is like giving me some stress. I'm trying to see if there's anyone in spirit in the space. Wait, that's weird. I think there would be dead animals outside. Where in the world? Like there's bones? There are bones, like big bones. I'm seeing something like a vulture on a tree, this big tree. Again, if I'm standing in front of the house or whatever the structure is, to my right, this big tree just getting something watching me, and I don't know, it feels like a vulture or some kind of bird of prey. Um, all right, I gotta get up my nerve to go in. I'm gonna just walk around the structure, the outside. So again, starting at the front of the house, looking at the, I can't even call this a house, structure. If I'm going around to the right, closest to this big tree, um, that feels fairly solid with some gaps. So maybe wood is not fully connected. I don't know that I'm getting this right. I just feel like there would be some gaps in a wall. I want to go to the back of the house, but like seriously, I don't know that I can go to the back of the structure. This is crazy. I don't know where this place is, but seriously, I'm having a hard time even remote viewing, walking behind the rear of this structure. Yeah, it feels very cold. Like temperatures dropped. I don't want to go back there. I don't feel like I should go back there. What in the world? Like, I don't feel that I can go back there. So whatever is behind the structure, I don't want to go. So I'm going to just kind of turn back around, walking along the side of the structure. Now, front of the structure, the temperature feels like it's a little bit warmer, not a lot. Like it's still cold, but it seriously feels like I'm prohibited from going around to the back. So I'm going to try it from going to my left now. That feels much more open. Like there is a solid structure there, solid wall. But on the left side of the property, again, if I'm standing in front of this property, the structure to my left, let's go west because I don't, so left would be west. That feels much more open and more hospitable. I just feel a little, I don't feel the strong trepidation that I did going on the right side. I'm going to try to go to the back on this way. It's like the ground feels different if on the back and I'm not walking on it, I'm observing it. It feels very flattened. Like they don't feel to be rigid. So I don't know if that area doesn't have frost or frozen earth. Like there's something different about the back of the structure, even the ground. Um, it's a burning smell again. What is that? I'm looking for a burning tree and all. I don't know. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this. What in the world is this? So there appears to be something living with some consciousness that is huge, tall. Almost looks like a tree, but it moves. I think people could see shadows of this, so maybe I'm just seeing a shadow of a tree. I don't know. That doesn't feel right. Like, um, remember in the movie Poltergeist where the tree comes alive? It feels like that. Like this is the location, I think, to whatever this tree-like thing is. I don't know that I'm getting any of this right. Probably not posting this because I just can't imagine. So whatever this tree-like structure is, it feels like it's behind. I don't even think that's not right. It's not behind. It's inside. But I think the shadow of this thing would could be seen from the back of this property. I think you'd really have to get your courage up. All right, I'm going to tackle this another way because I need to go in. I don't like whatever this tree being is. That I don't know that it could do harm, but it's just certainly not inviting. It feels very protective, so maybe this is something indigenous. That's not right. It doesn't feel warm and cuddly. I'll say that. All right, I'm just gonna suck it up and go in. All right, so back in the front, it's dark in there and it's daylight outside. Like the color, there are those lights. I think people could see the lights. Maybe it feels like a portal of something. I don't know what this is that I'm saying. These lights look red and green and blue, like different colors. Absolutely, people could see this with the naked eye, and this would not need to be done at night, like drones or orbs. Orbs, these are orbs, but they're different colors. And I feel like what could come out of there could really kind of screw people up mentally. It's like it can project things. It might scare you. So this would have to have awareness of what your fears are. So this tree thing, I don't know if it invites them in or if it's part of it. It's part of it. It's these little orbs kind of come out of this tree thing. And I feel like people could see something that, like, if there's a second level, um, that I'm seeing kind of being open, I think this thing could project itself to like kind of like leering and vampirish in some way. But that's not even what it is. Like, I don't know why this thing wants to frighten people away from this space. There's something under the ground. What's under the ground lately? Like it's guarding something, and I think, oh, if people, I think it would be almost impossible to go underground in this location. Um, I could feel like you could be hurt or blinded or have physical ailment. Like this is really, really, really trying to discourage anyone from there's voices. Like you can hear voices in there as well too. I hear voices, but like it's talking, but it almost feels like that's projected. And now there are tones. What is this? Just feel different tones. That would not be constant. Almost feels like that's the communication, like the tones would be the communications. What are you communicating with? This feels like a space where like something would start. Something would start here or warn. It's almost like a lighthouse. I'm not using the right word on that because I think of lighthouse and I don't think of anything that makes me feel a warning. Well, yeah, maybe. So this thing feels like a lighthouse for something, but it's a warning. It's a beacon, and I have no idea. I hope Geraldine can validate some of this, but I have a feeling this is never going to be seen. The temperature in that place is weird. Like there's these different temperature fluctuations. I'm inside the structure. Like some would be very hot and some would be very cold. And I think if you sat there long enough, let's say you had a chair in there, I feel like you'd be inundated with information or downloads or like you'd almost vibrate and you would be observed. And maybe if you could handle the information, you would get it. If not, I feel like this would be a place that could absolutely drive people to some kind of psychosis. Like, this is not a place people should be just going in because they can. And I hope it's not open for everybody to go in. This is so weird. I think so. Again, I've just put myself sitting in a chair in this location and like this lights, these orbs, or kind of observing me. And like sizing me up. I have no idea what I'm saying. I just feel like I want to get out of this location. So this is a very short video. This is so strange. I don't know that I can finish this one. Okay, sorry everybody. Hi, everybody, it's Isabella again. I got some confirmation from Geraldine, at least of the structure, that she assigned to SKRHM02. Oh, so this is going to be part two. I don't know if this will be posted. I don't know that this will be any more information, but I'm going to try to get a little bit more information and push through my trepidation a little bit. There will probably be some longer pauses on this one. All right, so bear with me just a second. All right. Actually, might close my eyes through some of this. I don't know if that will allow me to see a little bit more and push through some of the concern. I don't want to go fear, but it wasn't welcoming. All right, I'm back at the location, outdoors. This is a man-made structure. The smell, it's a mixture between like charred wood and just animal smells, like animal, not dogs or cats per se, but like maybe cows, horses, things like that. And it's not constant, but it also smells of like damp, like damp. It just, something is off on this structure. And I would say people begin to feel it maybe 7 to 10 feet as you're getting close to the structure. I would say a lot of people have felt this like hesitancy or just a sense, I don't need to go there. So, all right. I think I'm just going to close my eyes and do this part. I'm just not wanting to go back into the structure. I don't get scared at what I did. Like, I don't, this is so unusual. All right. Going in and opening, so I'm going to assume this is the front door. I don't even know if there's a door there now, so I'll go into the front opening. I'm going to sit. If I go in facing the structure, I'm going to sit on the left-hand side. Just going to create the space for myself. Now it feels very quiet. It's just very quiet now. That's weird. So the hesitancy is really outside of the structure. It's like a void in there now. I don't hear noises. That's incorrect. I hear something outside. It's like a dripping, like maybe snow melt, ice melt, but it's not loud. I think outside the building again, if you were looking at it from the front of the building, to the left where it felt less, where I felt less hesitancy to go in, down that way, several hundred feet, I'm getting, there's activity. So there's human activity. Um, there's nothing anomalous about that. Like that just feels like daily activity. I'm still in the building or the structure. Okay, bear with me. Temperature change, like there's a shadow, some kind of big shadow. I think this tree thing that I saw wasn't exactly a tree or isn't exactly a tree. I literally feel like a crazy person right now. Seriously, I'm describing how it's a tree, not a tree. Um, but it's like that energy, that tree thing. Um, and natural should be natural, but it's not natural. Like this is not organic to the space. And I think any kind of trees around there would maybe be not straight, like they feel warped or curved in some way. I don't know what this is. I'm kidding. Why am I being pulled out? I don't want to go out of the building. I think I'm being observed by whatever this tree thing is. It's not as close in my space at this point. Um, it's like all energy in this location has been halted. Like it's stopped, and that feels purposefully so. Like I think unless they want you to see, is they. Unless it wants you to see, I'm just gonna explore on my own and not worry about this tree thing. Um, I don't feel walls. The structure feels. I'm going with burn down. This place has to burn down, or weather is kind of knocked down walls. It feels burned though. It feels scorched. How is it still standing if that's right? Because I do feel like there is somewhat of a solid floor in this place. Um, that's not right. I think there are parts of solid flooring. So I don't know if it's a subfloor that I don't know what I'm on. Um, but honestly, that feels to be the sturdiest part of this structure. And like I feel like there might be holes in the flooring. So maybe people have dug. It's almost like there'd be treasure where you. Structure feels 1900s. Let's go 1930s to 40s. I mean, would people hide things under their floor? I hate trying to guess. Like, I don't want to guess what it is that I'm seeing or make sense of it because that is not what you should do in remote viewing. But it feels like things are under the floor. Let me see if I can go and see that. That cannot be right. Like it's uncovered and covered, covered and uncovered. This ground. And so maybe 3 or 4 feet, I don't even think it's that deep down, there would be another surface in the dirt or underneath the dirt. So something feels, the structure feels built on top of another structure or another plate. Like it feels like I don't know that it's metal, but it's like a metal cement. What in the world? And I think I couldn't see through that unless I was allowed to see through that. There has to be something underneath the structure. Like there has to be something underneath this metal plate. Um, it's not metal though. I don't know what this is. It's not malleable. I'm seeing about 3/4 of an inch thick. Why am I being directed down there? I don't have the fear. I don't have the hesitation. I don't have the trepidation. It's as if all of that is just gone, like removed. It's not that I don't have it. It's that it's not present. So whatever was causing that is not there. So now I'm just really being pulled out of the structure to the right-hand side of the building, which I didn't. As I go around the back, I feel like I shouldn't be there, and I'm wanting to go down, like down. I think maybe there's been some digging, so I don't think this is a well. That doesn't. There's been digging adjacent to this location, but it's not far off. I am unable to tell how far away from the structure. And again, I'm on the right. If I'm looking at the structure, I'm on to the right of it. Hold on. I'm just going to pause this for a second and try to understand what it is that I'm getting without there being long pauses. Okay, so that was about a 30-second pause there. So I'm being pulled out further on the right-hand side of this property. And it's a little bit easier to look underneath it from that space. I feel kind of close to a little tree line, but I don't think I'm describing that correctly. And as I go to look underground, it's almost as if things are in like a kidney-shaped bowl, but the biggest bowl you've ever seen in your life. Like just huge underground, like it's encased in something and protected. So I feel like I've hit one end of it, and then I go down, and then who knows how far to the west that it goes. And please don't get stuck on my west east. I'm describing as best as I can, standing in front of the structure. Um, and I'm to the right of the structure at this point, if I'm looking at the structure. So kind of close to this tree line, it feels like where this kidney-shaped, huge, I want to words that I want to use are not what this thing is. It's not a tank, but it kind of feels like a tank. It's enclosed and keeping things safe. And I feel like people have dug all around there. And it's not that things shift or morphed, although they might. It's as if you just don't see it. So how can something organic change consistency and texture and like not be what it is? I don't know what it is, but I don't know. All right. I'm gonna kind of go down and see how far I can fall. Depth is not a strong suit of mine, especially in the dark. Um, I'm going down at least 75 feet, maybe more than that. And then it starts to curve. Again, it just looks like a kidney shape, like a kidney. Um, there's something emanating off of it. I don't know what this is. It's like not radiation, but I feel like soil samples would be different here. Like there would be some not inert material. What's the opposite of that? Ert? I don't know that it's different. The dirt, the soil is different, and it appears to be getting darker. So like there's this richness to it, which I would not imagine one would find that far down, but I am not a geologist, so I don't know. The bottom of this kidney-shaped canister, um, I don't know that I'm at the bottom, but I feel like I can kind of curve and go west with this thing. So this thing feels like it runs obviously east to west, or from this trees down. I feel like I've reached the side of it. And then how far west it goes, I don't know. I feel like it's under a lot of property. And then I'm feeling like I'm going off to the east now, but that feels mountainous, rocky, but it's kind of like a runway or no. Once I get to this mountain, this I don't have the language, and I'm so sorry. I just don't have the language for what this is that I'm getting. But it's like this big kidney-shaped thing changes. It morphs and it goes into more like a spider web thing once I get to this hilly mountain thing. But the mountain is not, you know, 1,000 feet high. That feels a couple hundred feet. It's like a ridge. That feels very rocky. Like I don't like if you tried to climb up it, it feels like maybe you'd kick rocks loose or something. But this kidney-shaped canister goes from the right side of this cabin structure down maybe 3/4 of a mile and then goes into this mountain structure. What the heck is in there? I do not know. But I'm not afraid anymore. I don't have reservations about what I'm seeing, what I'm getting. How is that connected to this structure, though? I don't know. It's maybe like the structure sat on top of it, but it didn't know it was sitting on top of it. So for me, I'm going to go back up, go back inside of the structure. It's almost like the structure was built a place that it shouldn't. Like it was built in a path of something. And I don't think that was done consciously. This place had to have burned down. It just, there had to be fire in there at some point. And outside of a fireplace, like this had to have, it had to have fire. I think whatever this tree thing is and the orbs would cause, would find a way to remove impediments. And fire seems easy. I think it could use your fears. Obviously sentient and is able to kind of mind tap you a little bit to know what you're afraid of. Not so much to hurt you, just to get you out of their path or like you shouldn't. This is ours. So I think whatever this is that goes underground, this tree thing, and then those orbs, probably not happy. I'm putting an opinion on that. I think it would just find a way to get human beings out of its way. And it would use fear to kind of induce that state. Um, there's something about the, like, God, that I think the air samples would even be different. As if it's very ionic and charged and fluctuating. Almost feels as though like there's electricity or static electricity in the air. So possibly you could feel when the air shifts or changes that something is incoming or something you're not going to be alone. I don't know that you're ever alone there. I feel very observed, but not eye level. Like it's above. I think there are many, let's use ships or crafts or something. This might be an endpoint or entrance or an exit. Nope, I'm wrong on that. This is like a navigation tower or something. So, you know, when they have flight control towers, this feels like that's what that is. Like that's the job for this location. Um, yeah, the sounds are coming back, like the tones. Let me see if I can pull anything toward me. Oof. Okay, had to pause that again. When I asked if I could, when I thought if I could kind of draw something toward me or bring whatever this thing is toward me, like I started to get anxious again. I started to feel the nervousness, the anxiety come back again. Like, are you sure you want to do this? I'm being drawn to looking up, but also I almost want to cower. So this has to be like UAPs people are seeing, UFOs, probably drones, probably a mix of everything. I'm getting different shapes. It's like this place is, I don't know if it's refueling. I don't know what this location is, but it feels like it's not just in this location, not just the structure. And but when I say location, I mean bigger than the structure. It's almost to this, you know, this kidney shaped thing that I'm hitting that. mountainy wall, something that feels like it shoots out in all these tentacles. And then I feel like there are other pathways in other directions. It's like an LZ for something. Um, what are they doing? What is happening? And why is it connected to the structure? I don't know. My summation would be like air traffic control in this structure. Um, kind of a watchful thing. I don't. It's just no one should go in this place. It's like unless you're invited. Things shift, like faces change, morph. Might even be the people that go in there, like their appearance might change. If something follows them, it would be out of curiosity or to scare them away from this location. I have no idea. Okay, back. Um, Sorry for the barking dogs for a minute. That may happen again. I feel like there are meters out there. What kind of meters? I don't know. Um, I want to go high up in the air. I don't know what this says that I'm getting. If anybody has thoughts on what the heck this says that I'm seeing, please let me know because I don't have any clue. I would say it feels UAP, UFO, this structure, not welcoming in the slightest bit. I think, again, I just feel head trauma in this place. And I mean, like you bump your head, but I think it's traumatic and it feels that that would linger and perhaps be able to frighten you away from being in that location or discourage. How about discourage and kind of want to know your intent? So, um, I do feel those orbs are important, but they feel like they're coming down and then again going inside of this kidney shaped thing. We might do a part three. I have no clue. I'm really curious what this kidney shaped canister is. And canister makes it sound very small. It is not small, opposite of that. Um, and I'm very curious what this coating is that's kind of very protective of everything. Listen, again, that feels more, that does not feel organic. Let me say that. How about that word? It does not feel organic, whatever this canister is. I'm going to go real quickly. Let me go back in the house structure. People could see older people in spirit, but they're not really people in spirit. They're the stray being that's able to project. I'm not going to fall for that because I don't have a fear of people in spirit. Like that is not what this is. Um, it's almost like they have, or they would pref not prefer, because they would want to know whatever these orb things are, this tree structure would really want to know what your intention is. And I think even then you'd just be given very limited or maybe I don't know, misinformation. Okay, so here's the structure. I'm not even going to make a bottom of it. So I'm sitting here, like I made a chair and sat there. And then in about this area, like I don't think there's floor. Like there didn't appear to be flooring. And then I started, okay, I'm going to look what's below there because it was obvious that I should be looking there. And 4, 6, 7 feet, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 feet, there's this plate, okay? And I knew it's not covering something just in this area. Like, no, that plate. And then I immediately was pushed outside, okay? So I'm over here, and I think people have dug here because I think they're aware of this plate. And I'm like, okay, I go down, and it's like, keep going further out. So then there's some trees over here, like tree line, tree. but they're thick and they're like gnarled. They're not straight, okay? So right about here, I knew I could dig down, or I knew I could look down. So I'm going down, 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 down. This is not, certainly not going to be far enough. And like, I'm drawn back over in this direction. So I go over here. And it's like, curved like that. And then how far down? I don't fucking know, girl. I do not, like, far. And it goes way over here. And then on, like, down here, this is obviously not to size. I felt like human activity. Like, there was probably trailers and cars and bullshit happening over here. This thing, this kidney-shaped canister goes, like, all the way here. And then here's the mountain. And I didn't say mountain because that's... I don't think these trailers are by this mountain, but I don't have enough paper. This mountain, this thing goes up into that. Okay, cool, cool. But then it goes shoo, shoo, show, shoo, blah, blah, blah. Like all these different directions. Like it was like you could go any fucking... And like that feels to be the spot to look at. So I don't know what this is. I'd say it's at least a mile, probably a mile. Hold on.